The last ever Town Hall 15 challenge is here, and in this video I'm going to show you two ways to take down this base. One that starts with a queen charge and one that starts with a Warden walk, so that you can pick the one that suits your attacking style. This base was used by Temper in the World Championship, and in this first approach, I'll show you how PCastro took it down. So start with the flamethrower in the corner, and watch where I deploy that wall breaker. On the top side of the wizard tower, and it opens up that corner perfectly. Then the second wall breaker, you put on the top side of the gap, so the lower side of the elixir storage. Now, if it doesn't target that wall, and it opens up like that, that is still fine. Both wall breaks are good for the Super Bowler Smash entry. Now you put down a wizard, then the queen, and don't put down any healers yet because of the air defense. We can wait a second or two to put them down. Here we go with the healers, and then put down one balloon. This balloon is critical because it's going to activate the poison tower you're about to see come into screen perfectly. Have a look at this. There is nothing but the scatter shot targeting. It gets one shot off, and then the poison tower gets activated early. No complaints there about that. Then you're going to put down this rage. Now, the more accurate you are with that rage, the better. You'll see why in a second. As soon as you put the headhunter down, put the king and then the baby drag on the top side. Have a look at this. The queen is still raged when dealing with the town hall. That's why that rage spell that I did before is so critical. Then you put down an ice golem and a Valk on the top side, and then come in with your smash attack in the middle with the Warden down, and as you see, they all funnel in perfectly. Now, the start of this attack is a little bit technical, but the rest is really easy. You're just spamming down rage spells. Pop the king ability on the top side, then a rage in the core, and whenever you feel the need to use your Warden ability, do. The rage tower goes off, but that's okay because all our troops are invincible. Put the RC on the top side to help out your king at this point in time, and just keep spamming down rages. Now, the invis for the Super Bowlers, and have a look at this back end monolith. Goes down. Now, if that doesn't go down, it's fine. Just use the skeleton spell, and it's rendered redundant anyway. And now, the base is crushed. Don't get me wrong, this attack that I did here was the cleanest of all of them that I did, but there were a few other attacks I did that weren't clean that still tripled. Now, if you're not comfortable starting off with the queen charge, or if you think there was a little too much to remember with this attack, I do have another approach on this base that we'll show in a second that starts with a Warden walk instead of a queen charge, but I'm going to tell you this approach here is the most reliable. If you do that whole opener, as I said, place everything and time it reasonably similar, you will almost always get the triple. But here comes the Warden walk approach here. This approach is definitely more simple, but it's also more likely to fail. So we start with the Warden walk on the Dark Elixir Collector, wait a second, then put that Flame Flinger down. As soon as this RC targets the Frosty, put a headhunter down, and we're going to take her down easily. And we're going to set up a very similar Flame Flinger value as you saw in the last attack, but rather than starting with a queen charge, we're starting with a Warden walk, and we're actually going to smash coming in from the back end of the base. So I'm just having a look at this. As you can tell, it's not as interactive, the start of this attack. It's definitely a bit easier than the last one. So getting ready to set the king funnel, use the baby drag down here, and that baby drag has to take down the pet house. If it doesn't, feel free to use a Valk or Hoggin or Wizard, but you need the baby drag to get down that pet house because it's going to make sure our king goes to the right. We need him to set the funnel, and now that that's all set, let's start in with the Super Bowlers, Queen, and the Titan. We'll put the last healer down as well because the Eagle will often target the Super Bowlers, and away we go. We pop the king ability, then put a wall break down for the monolith. Rage spells down at any point in time. We've got 4 of them left, and watch this specific wall breaker here. That is such an important wall breaker because it's going to open up everything. Look at that. We use the Warden ability nice and early. Still got 3 rage spells left. Put the jump spell in the same spot as you saw in the last attack. Use the invis in almost the same spot as well, but we are coming in from the other side. Now, this attack looks really good at this point, but it is going to slow down. The Super Bowlers just get wrecked over and over again. We use the RC on the bottom, start getting our cleanup down, and all of our Super Bowlers bar this one that's about to go down very quickly are dead. We use the freeze spell for the queen, and we're hanging on to this skeleton spell for the royal champion. Then the giant and the Valk's going to come in to help the royal champion. I should have put the giant down first, then the Valk. My bad on that. Then the skeleton spell and the head hunter any second now. And as you can see, the whole smash is died. The queen is barely hanging on for her life. The RC is about to go down. She does get her ability off, and she will thankfully get rid of the scatter shot, which will mean we do get the triple in the end. But as you can tell, this isn't an overkill at all. This is quite close. So doing this approach is definitely easier, but it's less reliable. So up to you. If you feel comfortable enough to do that queen charge on the first attack, which I think is quite doable, then you should use that approach because you will destroy the base and often swag spells and abilities. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then this approach is pretty reasonable as well. But that's it for Town Hall 15 challenges. If you want to see more World's bases getting wrecked, I'll link it on the left.